오늘의 영상은 좀 I finished. Hey, it's Aja. I actually had a plan to film a totally different video today, but I got a request from a subscriber, and you know, that makes it more urgent. Okay, my subscribers are very special to me. You know, it just occurred to me that I didn't check if this is a subscriber or not. It's just a person who commented. Let me check real quick. All right, lucky for both of us, I can't tell if you're subscribed or not. So that means I'm gonna default assume that you are, and that's why I can label this subscriber requested in the title, because I want the clicks. Anyways, so on one of my videos about working in a Hagwon, somebody requested that I make a video on the application process for a Hagwon teacher. Now, I am going to do that to some degree, and to some degree I'm not. Because when you say the application process, I'm not sure which part you're looking for. I don't know if you're looking for literally like, what do I submit to apply for the job, or just everything leading up to actually working at the job. Here are the things that I'm not going to talk about. Getting your documents apostilled. There are tons and tons of videos about that already on the internet, and also if you just get a recruiter, they will tell you exactly what documents to get apostilled and notarized and whatnot, and where to send it, and it's different depending on which country you're from. So me not knowing you personally and not being able to tell you those things, I'm skipping it. I'm gonna go straight to just the parts that are not readily available all over, or you might not know just by Googling it. Those are the parts that I'm going to talk about in getting a job, a Hagwon job. So first and foremost, I'm assuming you also want to work at a Hagwon as an English teacher. If it's not an English teacher, if you want to teach something else, it's going to be a totally different story, and I can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, these things are very technical. But if you want to legally work as an English teacher on an E2 visa, then what you're going to need first and foremost is you have to be from one of the 7 recognized native English speaking countries. I talk about this in like a lot of different videos, so there's a list of the 7 countries. Moving on. Then you have to have a bachelor's degree, a 4-year degree, right? If you are from the UK, I think that the amount of years is different. I don't really know how UK degrees work, but you have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university. That's what I know. If you're like in your last stretch, you can still apply, granted that you will be receiving your diploma before you finish this process, because they're gonna want to see paperwork, and if you can't supply the paperwork, you can't work here. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Next, you need a recruiter. You need multiple recruiters. Each recruiter gets paid by the schools, by the Hagwons themselves, to find someone to work there. So if a recruiter is asking you to pay them, they're tricking you, they're duping you, they're scamming you. You don't ever need to pay a recruiter. There's this one company I almost fell for because they seemed so legit, and their like whole thing was like very professional sounding. I'm not gonna name them because I don't know if I can do so legally and not get in trouble, but just know if a recruiter's asking you for money, they're scamming you. When I say find multiple recruiters, what I mean is each recruiter has a certain number of schools that they are working for, right? And it might be a big number, but none of those schools might not be right for you. So that was not good English. Oh my God. And they pay me to speak English. That's crazy. Those schools might not be right for you. So you need to be able to spread out, okay? You need to be able to look onward and beyond. Get multiple recruiters. I cannot stress it enough, okay? There are a lot of recruiters that I can personally vouch for, whether or not they got me a job or whether or not they were kind. And then there are a lot of recruiters that I have no affiliation with whatsoever. I used to say that I would put a list in the description box, but once again, if I've had a negative experience with a certain recruiter, then it feels awkward for me to list them. But I also don't want to come on here and publicly say their name and bash them. That also seems like something I could get in trouble for legally. So I'll tell you what, if you want to know whether or not I have experience with any recruiter or recruiting company, DM me on Instagram and I'll let you know. I answer all my DMs on Instagram except for the thirsty ones. So moving on, you've got several recruiters, they're sending you in job offers. How do you know which ones to select? Off the bat, like, there are a few things that you need to just totally eliminate, erase them from your mind. They don't exist if they're not offering this, okay? First and foremost, every single place of business Hagwon in Korea should offer at least, we're talking minimum, friend, minimum 10 days vacation. That would be 2 weeks, because obviously we're talking about 10 working days. Preferably they'll be split up into summer and winter or something like that. Yeah, a week in the summer and a week in the winter does not sound good, but that's kind of standard. Now obviously, beyond vacation itself, you should also be getting red days. So these are the government holidays. If you don't see something in there about government holidays off or red days off, you need to inquire about it, because they don't always know to advertise it, but you need to know that that's something to look for. If they're not giving you your red days or your holidays off, you're getting a bad deal. Pay. If you are just coming to Korea to teach for the first time, 2.1-ish, that is standard. That's regular. If you want to accept a little bit below that, that's fine. When I say a little bit, I'm talking like 2.0-ish. Less than that for a full-time position, and you're kind of doing us all a disservice, because you're telling the market that they can underpay people and people will still work for them, right? Which means that all of us who even have experience are gonna be underpaid, because there's always someone who will swoop in and work for less, right? Okay, so you can accept a little bit less, but a lot less, it's bad for everyone. Don't do it. Don't take those jobs with the cheap bosses who don't really want or care about giving their workers, you know, a livable wage. Next, if you live in Seoul, you need to ask for more. You need to be making more than that, because Seoul is expensive. So 2.3, I would say, is about standard for Seoul. Just know that the more busy of a place that you're trying to work, the amount of money should go up, okay? This is just, you know, my opinion, but like, it's my educated, you know, opinion backed by evidence. It's almost scientific. So you've already weeded out all the really bad jobs, and now you're looking at a few choices for interviewing, okay? There are some things that will really help you with the interviews. I'm gonna assume that if you are watching this video, you are applying from outside of Korea. So you're gonna be having a video interview. That already is like just not quite as impactful as a face-to-face. So you want the maximum impact, not in a crazy way. Don't be weird. Some ways that you can make an impression and look really good on a little small screen. First of all, smile a lot. Not like a creepy clown, but like, yeah, I love kids. Look how friendly I am. I moved my hair forward so I look a little less scandalous, a little more teacherly. Look how friendly I am. Yes, I will take care of your children. Don't I look like someone you would leave your children in my hands and I would teach them very well? I'm so smart. I'm so pretty. Pretty people are better. That's not really how I feel, but it's how people feel when you smile. You can look it up. And I realized, like, you know, if this is a bar and some guy is like, why don't you smile? Like, I mean, obviously that's a totally different situation, but this is a job interview and you want the job, don't you? So smile. Smile a lot. Not smile hard. I want the job. Don't smile hard. Just smile a lot. Smile often. Also, you know, practice your interview, prepare some things ahead of time. Don't talk about K-pop. If you're gonna talk about why you want to move to Korea, please make it like a valid reason, like, you know, the impact you can make on the students' lives, and don't make it about like traveling and seeing pretty things that have nothing to do with the job. Just, you know, a heads up. And finally, we have passed our interview. Now we are on the stage of signing the contract. So you want to read that contract really carefully. Read it backwards and forwards. If you Google, you know, Korean contract, something like that, you're gonna find some websites that will really go through bullet point by bullet point things to look for in your contract, what is acceptable, what is not. But I will give you just a few like things that I think are important. So one is sick days. Make sure that your contract allots you some of those. Some contracts don't have anything in there about sick days. Make sure it also has like a backup situation for emergencies or extended situations. So for example, if you catch, you know, you're going to be out of the classroom for 2 weeks. Are you also going to be out of a job? Check on what their policy is for those kind of situations. And do you have to pay your substitute, or can you just be sick? Do they have a backup plan for if you are sick? Something like that. Check your contract for it. Ask about it in person before you sign the contract. Just check, you know? Another thing is breaks versus prep time. Make sure that there is some wording in your contract about both, not either or. They are different things. If you're working an 8-hour day, legally they have to provide you a 1-hour break. Your break is not your prep time. You should not be expected to do work during your break. So if they have a break and no prep time, or a prep time and no break, something illegal is happening there. Don't sign that contract, okay? Don't sign it. It's wrong. And number 3, another thing that you need to look for. It is illegal for you not to have health insurance and pension. So there are certain bosses that are trying to skirt around these rules. They'll tell you that you're an independent contractor and you need to arrange your own health insurance. The line is shaky there, but make sure they're helping you get it, because if you don't have any health insurance, you're breaking the law. And the pension thing. I also, I don't understand. I think some countries don't have pension. Please look that up for your individual country. Again, I don't know for sure, but if you're from America, for sure, you get pension. That means that you pay part of it and your employer pays part of it. You should each be contributing 4.5% of your monthly salary. 9% should not come out of your paycheck. 4.5% comes out of your paycheck, and the other 4.5% comes out of your boss's pocket. Combined, you should be getting that much every month. Not into your bank account, but into your pension. And then you can apply for pension when you leave the country. So make sure it has something about pension in the contract. If it's not in the contract, put it in the contract. Ask for them to put it on there, or just make sure that they're gonna do that, because if they're not gonna do that, they are doing something illegal. I want to stress why I'm talking about illegal stuff. Any business that is not covering their own behind on the legal front is definitely not going to cover your behind, okay? If they don't care about the trouble they could get in for breaking the law, they don't care about you. And they don't care that you might get deported or you might get in trouble if something goes wrong along this process. So please read that contract. Yes, it's long. Yes, it's complicated. Find some online resources to help you. Read it. And before you sign the contract with any Hagwon, I also recommend you do one more thing. You ask them to put you in touch with someone who currently works there, or the person that you are replacing. Either or, but like obviously, I mean, me personally, I'd rather get in touch with the person I am replacing. I trust their opinion a little bit more. If they say the place sucks, that's probably why they're leaving. It probably sucks. If they say the place is the bee's knees, then okay, maybe it's you know, maybe it's a good place. They could be leaving for any reason. It could be personal reasons. Someone could have passed away. They could be getting married. It could be positive things. It could be negative things. There could be any number of reasons why someone is leaving their job. Don't ask people why they're leaving their job. But ask your replacement if it's a good job and why. Okay, I'm so sorry this video is so long. I promise you I meant to keep it short, like under 11 minutes short. I didn't even think I would take that long with the video, but here we are. Like 20 minutes later. I'm sorry. Anyways, I did my best. So, if you have any more questions, please ask me in the comment section. Make them as specific as possible, because honestly, like, I am so grateful for every question I get and every request I get, but sometimes y'all ask for something that's pretty broad and I need you to narrow it down a little bit so I can be more helpful. So let me know, and I'll see y'all next time. So subscribe. So bye.